at the 46. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Ten logo.
Squeeze, double. Man left.
And they'll try to fire up the running game with C.J. Anderson. And an alley to run. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
He finds an opening past the 40, and he takes it all the way up to the 47.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run with Anderson. He's been the bell cow tonight, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
60 outlaw.
All day, defense, all day.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
We got this.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Keep it up, defense.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake the...
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. It's a big play there for the Saints. 44 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Here's Brissett. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
Keep playing hard.
Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, They are really in sync right now.
You ready?
Mike 59. What we got? What we got? What we got?
5.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And the Saints will have the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Brissett now. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Going for it all. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
Tight end right. 4 down. 4 down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Kamara off the draw. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Brissett. And complete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans! Michael Thomas, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You see me? You see me?
So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
They got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They run it again with Anderson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. C.J. Anderson, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better 1st quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Short kick. One of the up men will take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
well, someone's